What if the first step to true wisdom wasn't finding an answer, but asking one single, really anxious question? Well, today we're diving into the very first verse of the Bhagavad Gita to see how a blind king's doubt on an ancient battlefield can actually unlock a huge truth about our own lives.
This right here, this is where it all begins. Just listen to the original Sanskrit for a moment. These are the very first words spoken as two massive armies, two sides of the same family, mind you, are about to go to war. This one question kicks off a conversation that is literally echoed through thousands of years.
And here it is in English. It's a question from the blind king Dhritarashtra to his advisor Sanjaya. Just picture the scene for a second. You have these two giant armies full of his own family. We're talking cousins, uncles, teachers, all of them gathered and ready for a war that's going to be absolutely catastrophic.
But hang on a second. Why is he even asking this? The verse itself says they all gathered desiring to fight. The answer seems pretty obvious, right? They're there to fight. So what is he really asking?
Okay, so let's get into this because this is where it gets really interesting. The real meaning, the deep, gut-wrenching anxiety behind his question, it has nothing to do with the soldiers. It's actually hidden in the two words he uses to describe the battlefield itself.
He calls the place Dharmashetra Kurukshetra. Now, these aren't just names on a map. They are incredibly powerful ideas. And honestly, understanding these two terms is the key to unlocking the entire psychological drama of the Gita.
Okay, so first up, you've got Kurukshetra. This was a real place, a physical field. It was the ancestral land of the Kuru family. Sure, but it was way more than that. It was known as a sacred plain, a place with some serious spiritual history, where gods and great sages had performed holy rituals.
And that leads us right into the second, and I'd argue the more important idea, Dharmakshetra, which means the field of righteousness. People believed this ground was so holy it had a powerful, purifying vibe. The thinking was that the very soil could actually encourage virtue and push people's hearts towards doing the right thing.
So, here's the crucial point. The king isn't just describing a place. He is revealing his deepest fear. He is terrified of this field of righteousness and the effect it might have on his sons.
And just listen to his language here. He doesn't say our family or the boys. He very specifically separates my sons from the sons of Pandu. That little phrase, mamaka, my people, it's pure us versus them. It totally exposes the selfish attachment that's got a grip on him.
You see, his question comes from this huge internal conflict. He knows, deep down, that he cheated the other side of the family out of their kingdom for his own boys. So he's afraid that the holy influence of the place, this Dharmakshetra, might spark a bit of conscience in his sons and make them want to call a truce. And a truce is the very last thing he wants. So his question isn't about the battle out there. It's about the war going on inside his own head.
So, how does an ancient king's problem on a battlefield turn into this powerful metaphor for you and me?
I know, this could all sound like some epic, faraway story about kings and warriors, but the core theme here, that battle between what's right and what's easy, that's something we all deal with.
The philosopher S. Radhakrishnan put it perfectly. He said this field of righteousness isn't just a physical place in India, the whole world, and more importantly our own mind, is a Dharmakshetra. It's a battleground for a moral struggle.
So yeah, we all have our own Kurukshetra. It's that inner battlefield where, our better angels are wrestling with our selfish side. It's the constant fight inside our own hearts to do what we know is right, to follow our own dharma, our own sense of integrity.
And look, this isn't some abstract philosophical thing. It's that feeling you get when you have to choose between a hard truth and a comfortable lie. It's the struggle between being loyal to a friend and doing what's right. Anytime you have to fight against your own biases and desires to make the ethical choice, yep, that's your Dharmashetra.
And this brings us all the way back to the beginning, to the incredible wisdom that's packed into that very first question.
The whole journey of the Bhagavad Gita doesn't start with some grand statement or a list of rules. It starts with a question from a place of doubt, fear, and conflict. The first step toward wisdom isn't having the answer. It's just being honest enough to admit that we have a battle going on inside, and we're not sure which way to go.
And exploring these profound questions, navigating that inner battlefield, that's exactly what we're all about here at Deep Knowledge.
So as we wrap up, I'll just leave you with this to think about. What's the Dharmakshetra you're facing in your life right now? What's your inner battlefield?
Hey, if this exploration was valuable to you, we'd really appreciate it if you'd like, share, and subscribe to Deep Knowledge for more. Thanks so much for watching.